Oh man, just energy, competitiveness, toughness, all the intangibles he brings to the table, and I think it's a good time, that he's integrated into the group. It just gives you an injection of energy. Um, so practice the past 2 days looks pretty good, but we got to see how he looks tomorrow. We'll look at shoot around, see what he looks like, see how he reacts from those 2 days. We went 2 days pretty hard. Then we'll make a determination with the coaches after shoot around.
You mentioned just a good time. You just said that. Why a good time?
Yeah, I think 25 games in, you can get a little stale, and sometimes you need an injection of energy and his dynamic presence, his personality, all that. I just think it's good timing.
There were times while he was out, some guys mentioned Coach Max or
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the influence that he was able to have over these past 2 weeks?
He holds us all accountable. There's no, you know, you can't slip up around him. He's going to hold you accountable. He's got super high standards for himself and for the team, and that's the part I didn't. That's a leadership aspect that he brings too. That type of grit and hold you accountable, everybody accountable. I think it's a welcome presence for us.
When you've been explaining a number of different things this year, you start using football terms as opposed to basketball terms. Why do you speak that language?
I would say that part of my evolution as a coach or educator is like multi-sport. So I use soccer terms all the time. Like our fast break is like a build-up. They use that, and there's a certain way you build up to offense, and they do that in soccer. I think it's brilliant. Instead of saying, "Oh, a fast break," it's not really being like defining. What does your build-up look like? How do you transfer from defense off? So I'll use definitely soccer terms. Use football terms. With Don around, we'll use baseball terms. Shot selection and pitch selection. Like, are you reading are we swinging at bad pitches? Or are we swinging at good pitches? That's part of it. So I think guys like that. We got a lot of multi-sport guys. But it fits me. I think it's been my background is learning from other sports.
What specifically from like football? Because that's the one I think that you use the most. What have you
Yeah.
learned from that translates to basketball?
Yeah, I mean, defensively especially, right? Like cover. We say we're in coverage. That's our base defense. That's definitely taken from football. Blitz. That's obviously blitz the quarterback. I think a lot of it comes from the defensive stuff. Man reads, zone reads. We have the same thing in basketball, and pistol is a set we have that comes from football, right? The pistol set. So we've all stolen a lot from football. Again, the guys like it, right? They can relate. It kind of triggers, helps them remember better, I think. So.
Is that the sport that is most relatable, do you think, in terms of terminology and stuff that you can incorporate?
I think so, because that's what the guys like.
Right, yeah.
And I also think, and just don't quote me, I think when you go back from, Pat Riley to, way back, we took a lot of coaching principles from football. I think that's part of the history of basketball coaches. In the beginning, we took a lot of stuff from football, and continue to do so.
With Evan handling as much, do you look at that as kind of a combination with Max being back, just like what he does with Sam, what he does with a lot of the guys coming off of the handoffs,
Yeah.
and also just pick and rolls inverted, all that stuff?
I talked to Max about that their two-man game, right?
Yeah.
Like playing off Evan, because Evan can hand back, he can keep, and they do a lot of that spontaneously. So I'm excited to see that, because I think that unlocks Evan even more, right? When you got another guy that can throw it to you and can cut off you, and Max is a great cutter. He's good with the hit and handbacks, but that also loosens up things for Evan.
So there were similarities that he talked about kind of last training camp with Bam and
Yeah.
Evan with him doing that. Do you see that same kind of connection there?
Yeah, and this is where coaching has nothing to do with it. It's Max's experience with Bam and kind of relaying that to Evan, what he wants, what he likes. And it Max obviously knows it helps him, but it also, can help Evan. So that's why it's great having guys from other programs learn stuff from, a great program like Miami. They bring it to us, and we've talked about it too. I can't wait to see what that looks like, in games and stuff. But I know that'll be a good combination, those two.
Speaking of Evan, was he able to practice today? What is
He did not practice today.
And how is his injury progressing?
I think, day to day, like nothing long term. I think it's caution above all. That being said, he's not ruled out for tomorrow. We'll, I assume he goes through shoot around, and we'll see. But kind of where we are.
How do you manage literal noise during a timeout? It seems like arenas are pumping in more stuff, music, outside stuff.
Oh man, Steve Kerr was the best. Like, we're in Phoenix, and I think one of the owners of the Suns was like sitting next to him, and Steve's like, "I can't coach with all this music. Like, I can't coach." He's like, he goes, "It's like a discotheque in Berlin, and I don't notice it that much. I would say a few times it can get annoying. You're trying to get a message to your players, and it's like sometimes I'll have to wait till a rift or the music dies down, and I'll just sit there. And the players are probably like, "What's he waiting for?" But I'm like, "You're not going to hear me if I'm talking." So it's part of it. I guess that fans like it and they like the experience. But I'm not going to protest or anything.
I was going to ask you though, should it be geared more towards basketball that's happening?
Great question. I'd love to poll all the coaches. It's more for me. It's just like something you have to live with. In a perfect world, you love it. Quiet, and you can have that moment with your team. But it's part of the reason why we pump in music during practice. It's chaos out there during the NBA game. From an entertainment, there's just a lot going on out there. So, but we got a mature group, right? Like they're locked, they're focused. But I've been on teams where got four guys looking at the half court shot or whatever's going. There's so much good stuff going on, entertainment wise. But our group is a good group. They're usually locked in.
Kenny, when it comes to Max, do you feel like you have an idea of how you want to use him within this offense, or is that kind of
yeah,
because you haven't had him since training?
Yes and no. I got to get just like with all these guys, understand strengths, weaknesses. Right now, he's the one I don't have a great feel. I've watched a ton of tape, but until I feel it, I'm anxious to. He's an excellent cutter. That fits. I want to see where that. I've even seen it in practice these past 2 days. He had a slot cut yesterday. I'm like, there's our cutter. There's our guy that can slice through the defense. So I'm anxious to see that. But we're gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna have to get a better feel. And you can only do that through games, Chris. So I think it's gonna be like the rest of the team. It's gonna take some time.
Do you see elements of Clay and Joe Harris and guys that you've coached?
Different. I think they're different. Very different. I think. Max, like I said, he's high energy, much more of a cutter than those guys. Clay was very stationary, mostly catch and shoot. I'd probably see more Joe Harris kind of similarities, because I think Max can get downhill too, and he's got that size where he can get in the paint. But again, I'm anxious to see him, because the guy's been a starter on great really good teams, and obviously gonna help us tremendously.
There's
This is
only
the last
so many
question.
spots in the rotation, but what have you seen from JT's development so far? And when he's gotten in, he's knocked down a few threes, and obviously, someone who's 6'9", 6'10" that can help you out.
You're talking JT Thor?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like, I love the swing we took on him. Like, he's the type of guy. He's got. You're looking at all the teams across the league. It's 6'10" wings, 6'9" wings, and he fits that profile. He's obviously got the 3-ball. We saw that the other night, but really pleased with his progress. Now it's physical development. He's got to continue to get stronger. I think that's a big one, but he fits the profile, fits what we're looking for, and been super pleased with his progress so far. Just going to be finding opportunities for him, but that was a good sliver of minutes he got the other night. It's like, man, 6'10" guy that can let it fly like that, and obviously, the length and can protect the rim. Switchable guy too. Really intriguing prospect.